This is a real man's truck.
Oh wait, that's Doug DeMuro's intro. I shouldn't be using that. Anyway, never mind. The word boondock comes from the Tagalog term for mountains. And when you say mountains, it means strong, tough, and rugged. What I have here is a truck that espouses all of that and so much more. Friends, the 2020 Isuzu D'Max Boondock Edition
In 4x4.
Let's do this! When Isuzu brought back the nameplate Boondock in 2019, die-hard truck fans got all excited with the news, only to be let down by the fact that it only came in 4x2. I mean, come on guys, think about it, just the name itself, Boondock, it should come as a hardcore 4x4 pickup truck. Well, it seems that Isuzu Philippines listened to its customers because now, for 2020, we have here the DMAX Boondock in true 4x4 fashion. Now, what sort of macho goodies could you find in the Boondock? Well, for starters, you have this very dark gray hood garnish right here in front, and you have your very dark gray front grille. No siree, you cannot find any chrome here up front. Why? Because chrome is for soft-roaders. It's for sissies. You want to be macho, you gotta have very dark gray front bumpers, front grills, and hood garnish. Now, for your headlamps, you've got your bi-xenon LED headlamps for your very dark off-roading trips in the jungles of Manila. You've got your fog lights here, and you've got this front bumper guard that's also finished in very dark gray to give it a more intimidating look. And you also have this matte aluminum finish front skid plate, which kind of breaks off on the very dark gray theme of the Boondock, but it also adds a little bit of a sophisticated touch. Moving to the side of the Boondock, you will find a feature that you cannot find in a regular standard D-Max, and those are these mountain decals that can be found at the side of the doors of your Boondock. It also even comes with a sticker here that says the words Boondock, just to remind everyone who is beside you in traffic that they are right beside a D-Max Boondock. It adds to that intimidating factor. Now, moving down from this decal of the mountains, you've got here a metal stepboard which has a honeycomb grille finish, and it also has the name Boondock etched there, just to remind anybody who's stepping inside your truck that they are stepping inside the D-Max Boondock. Now, to further add on to that macho vibe of the Boondock, you've got blacked out roof rails here, and you've got your 17-inch blacked out wheels shod in Geolandar all-terrain tires, which are par for the course when it comes to these off-roaders. Now, your door handles are finished in chrome, which adds a little bit of a soft touch in an otherwise hardcore pickup truck, at least to tell you that it's not too hardcore in that sense. Now, hidden inside the suspension area of your Boondock is another performance upgrade that makes the Boondock different from a standard D-Max. You've got nitrogen-charged performance shock absorbers for off-roading, which also adds a little bit of lift to the truck, making your ground clearance to as high as 247 millimeters, which is perfectly decent for flood wading and for any kind of terrain that you might encounter when you're driving your Boondock. Moving to the rear of the Boondock, you will see that you've got your LED tail lamps, you've got your rear view camera right here hidden near the plate holder, and you've got this. This is a decal with the words Boondock, just to tell everybody behind you that they are following the DMAX Boondock. Now, when you open the truck bed, you will note that the DMAX Boondock has a capacity that can carry as much as 1,100 kilos worth of payload, and to demonstrate what kind of a true workhorse it is, its rated towing capacity is at 3,500 kilos. Now, that's pretty decent. Now, let's close the truck bed. pretty heavy. You need to be macho to be able to operate something like this. But anyway, let's now go over to the engine bay just to see what kind of engine powers this workhorse of a truck. Now, in order to check out the engine, you have to open the hood latch inside, and if you are somebody like me who's only 5'6", this is probably one of those moments that you'd be dreading. Why? Because if you are driving a lifted truck like the DMAX Boondock, well, when you open the hood, it's going to be quite heavy, and when you lift it up like that, well, you gotta put a prop rod all the way up there, and if you're 5'6" like me, you'll see that it's kind of difficult to get it in place. So pray to God that if ever you need to open your hood while you're outside, you could do it with such great finesse, like what I just did, as you saw. Now let's go to the engine. The DMAX Boondock sports the same engine as a regular DMAX. It still has that dependable 3-liter blue power turbo diesel engine that is good for 177 horses and 380 Newton meters of torque. Now, you could spec your Boondock DMAX with a 6-speed automatic transmission or a 6-speed manual transmission. Yes, you heard it right. You could still get the Boondock in a 6-speed stick shift because stick shifts are macho. Now, let's go inside the truck and see what other macho goodies we could find inside. Now, when you step inside the DMAX Boondock, the first thing that you'll notice is the seats are made of perforated leather material. So this is a nice luxurious touch, considering that this is a workhorse pickup truck. So I didn't really expect to see leather seats, but you have it here in the Boondock edition. Now also the driver's seat has another luxurious touch. It is also a power adjustable driver's seat. Now that is a bit of a comfort, but I'm also kind of concerned, especially when you're going to wade this thing in some floodwaters or some rivers and some water might seep in, and it doesn't really put my mind at ease knowing that I have a driver's seat that is electrically powered. So there's that. Now anyway, looking at the steering wheel, you have here a leather stitch steering wheel. The leather itself is a little bit of hard leather. It's not the usual soft touch leather that you could find in more luxurious soft roaders, but this is a workhorse of a pickup and you're a macho man for owning something like this. So man up and hold on to those hard leather steering wheel. And if you look at the dashboard material and the interior materials as well, it's finished in hard wearing plastics, something I'd expect from a pickup of this stature, because well, it is a workhorse and you need to make sure that the interior would be as durable as the truck itself. Looking at the instrument gauges, you will see the usual traditional tachometer and speedometer. You got a information display in the middle. It's kind of tiny, it's kind of on the tiny side, but it does the job by giving you your vital information and specs. Your steering wheel also has well, some controls for your infotainment system. And speaking of infotainment system, your infotainment screen is a little bit of a luxury as well. That is a bit of a surprise in a workhorse pickup truck. You've got an 8-inch fully touchscreen LCD display here that has Bluetooth connectivity. It has DVD, got a DVD tray right there, and your power buttons and volume buttons and all that. But basically you don't have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Not really something I expect from this kind of a macho truck, because you know those are for like, you know, soft roaders. Anyway, so you've got this nice 8-inch infotainment screen. Not really the biggest that I've seen, but it's pretty decent considering it's a pickup truck. Now moving down from the infotainment screen, you've got your climate control buttons, and at first I kind of found that the circular format was a little bit on the funky side, but then now I appreciate the simplicity of the way the buttons are all laid out. There's no guesswork needed. You don't need to go through like a thick manual just to be able to operate your climate control. It's all there. You've got all the buttons right there, front and center. You've got your USB charging ports here, a 12-volt charger, and the star of the show in the interior, you've got your uber macho 6-speed manual truck transmission right here. Because when you're off-roading and you're gonna negotiate some terrain that's kind of iffy, then you need to be able to control the output of your car, of your truck, and a manual transmission will help you do that. Now, from the manual transmission shifter, you've got your a little bit more modern drive mode shifter here. So instead of the usual traditional stick shift, small stick shift for your 4 high, 4 low, and 2-wheel high, you got a rotary knob here. To be perfectly honest, I kind of miss that traditional classic small shift knob for your drive selector, because that has like that classic nostalgic vibe to it, which these modern rotary knobs don't really have. One classic nostalgic handle here is the manual e-brake. So you still have this handbrake here. It's all manual, no electronic parking brake found here. And you got a cup holder. You've got your center console in the middle. Pardon the plastics that you can find in the seats. This is a showroom unit. After all, I couldn't really remove these plastic covers for you guys, but you could already see the material of the seats. Now, overall, the interior of this cabin, it's pretty much what I'd expect from a workhorse pickup. Hard-wearing plastics, durable materials, with a little bit of luxurious touches that I didn't really expect, like the infotainment display and well, the nice leather seats and the power driver seats as well. But yeah, that makes the drive experience of the Boondock a little bit more livable, a little bit more pleasant, but at the same time, it could take on anything that you throw at it. Since the DMAX Boondock is a double cab pickup truck, let's check out the second row just to see how roomy it could be for your passengers. So getting inside the second row, well, you have to do a little bit of a step up because it is a lifted truck, and sitting here in the back seat, well, surprisingly, it's got quite a good amount of room. If you are just 2 people across, it's going to be very, very comfortable. Typical of most double cab pickups, the back seat is a bench type that with your knees a little bit slightly elevated. Well, it's not really a big issue, especially since you got a good amount of knee room, so you could stretch out your legs a little bit more. I'm 5'6", and as you can see, it's pretty comfortable for someone of my height. Headroom wise, it's also decent, but if you're probably somebody who's probably taller than 6 feet, then maybe the back seat will be a little bit more cramped for you, given the fact that, well, it is a double cab pickup. Now, when it comes to toys, you only got a single USB port charger here, and you got a pull-out dual cup holders here in the middle, and a couple of cup holders as well in the door panels. Aside from that, you don't get any much toys here in the back seat, so it's pretty bare. It's pretty utilitarian and all that. The DMAX Boondock is not just a macho truck. It's also a safe pickup truck as well. It's got a plethora of safety features such as ABS, EBD, stability control, brake assist, hill start assist, hill descent control, and other safety features that you could just find in the brochure, and I can't name them all here. And the great thing there is you're getting it in a truck that gives you the capability to go anywhere at any time in any terrain. So how much does this DMAX Boondock 4x4 go for? Well, the manual transmission variant can be had for 1,725,000 pesos. That's not bad for a truck that has all those capabilities and safety features all in one package. But then, if you ask yourself, is the 2020 DMAX Boondock Edition 4x4 a compelling pickup to buy, knowing that the all-new DMAX is just around the corner? Well, think about it this way, guys. But before you think about it, why don't you let me know in the comments below what you think, and then let's have a discussion there. But in my opinion, well, the Boondock Edition first came out in 2010, and that's a good 10 years time until now that they now have another Boondock Edition. So this truck might be at the end of its production cycle, but you will have a limited edition in your hands that will make you feel special every time you traverse those mountain roads or those roads that no one has traveled into. Now, that is probably a pretty decent reason for you to consider picking up a 2020 DMAX Boondock Edition in 4x4. Once again, guys, thank you for watching one of my car reviews. I'm Reagan, and if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel as well. I promise you I'll make it worth your while if you subscribe to my channel. Anyway, I'll see you again in my next video. Bye-bye.